You must have heard a bit about, there's like lots of reports at the moment about them not getting on, a bit of Misha apparently bullying some of them. Have you heard any of this?
I think we haven't really heard anything about it, but I think X Factor's like, it's a really difficult competition, and with everyone being the same sort of situation. With our year, we kind of all banded together a little bit, but I suppose, you know, everyone was kind of just going through the same things every week, so we kind of all just made great friends with everyone, whereas this year it doesn't appear to be that way a little bit.
And it's early days, yeah, too.
Yeah, it is early days, and I think there's people are just getting used to each other, you know, that sort of thing. So, I mean, it's like being thrown in a new school. I mean, we found that being in a band and thrown together, so it must be difficult when everyone's your competition, but, you know, I mean, you just got to enjoy it more than anything, not take it too seriously, I suppose, and just have a little bit of fun with it.
I think it's unfair to judge the contestants, you know, just on what's in the press at the moment, because although the press have been fantastic to us, also there was a few quite funny stories around the show. For example, one week apparently Wagner headbutted Harry, which, you know...
And apparently you were bit by a shark.
Apparently I was bit by a shark. So there is some, you know, stories that I think maybe are taken out of proportion, so I think it's really unfair if we like were to say either way.
So were you bitten by a shark?
No, I wasn't. I was stung by a sea urchin.
It's not as heroic, so just go with the fact that you were bitten by a shark.
Well, I fought off 2 sharks. I don't like to go on about it.
Yeah, that's much more
I'm serious.
And Gary at the moment's been saying that he thinks Louis has been making his act worse. Would you agree with that?
Well, I think Louis gets in the same situation every year where he's kind of, you know, he's having a little... Well, I don't know actually. How would you put it?
Right. I would say so. I think Louis got a very unique way of mentoring his acts, and to be honest, he's on the X Factor. People don't think so, but he's actually got a good track record. I mean, the people who have like come out of the show, you know, you've got JLS and Jedward, and they both, you know, still going now. So I don't think you can.
Well, I think you can
really argue with that.
Yeah, what you can say about Louis is he kind of puts his acts more as performers a little bit.
Thanks,
I think
man.
he's often seen on the show as like a little bit of a gag that he gets the actors some people might not take so seriously. So I think he just tries to go and show that, you know, everyone's got talent.
Yeah. And do you reckon that the show's worse this year without having Simon Cowell on it?
I don't think so. I think it's different, but I wouldn't say that it was worse. You know, the new judging panel really freshens it up like a lot. It's a lot different. But I think they're great. They gel well together. I think it's good to watch.
I think it's a different show this year. I think to a degree there's maybe a little less drama, maybe, and it's more. I think it's more music based than it's ever been this year.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. Fair enough.
I think it was really, we all said as well, it was really different to see like how the kind of edge of the show's changed a little bit with like people like Talisa on there and Cher Lloyd as well, that, you know, there hasn't really been a rapper on there before, and Professor Green got to perform last night, so that was really interesting to see. I mean, we were talking about it earlier on, weren't we, the fact that there's never really been a rapper to perform on the show, so he must be like one of the first.
I'll tell you one big change actually that's really easy to notice is the production behind the acts have really upped its game this year. Like even something as small as the screens behind them, but not just that. It's almost like you're at a musical. Like it's that kind of production.
Even the dancers and everything. Like when I was watching it, obviously this weekend, I felt like every act looked like they were like a visiting act that had come to perform with their own production. Every production was so different, and it doesn't actually look like it's contestants performing. It looks like somebody's come to visit the show and they've got this big production.
It's almost like you're going to watch the X Factor tour. It's that kind of production.
It's really cool.
Tour production.
And do you think that's better, that they're just getting it bigger and bigger, or do you think that it's just like overkill?
I think this is what they've been trying to get at for over the last few series. They've been trying to build to where they are now, and they're calling it the new generation, the next generation. And
I think it's good because it kind of gives you an idea of the artist that the contestant's going to be when they come off, and like if you kind of get an idea of what they look like with the production, then you kind of know what kind of artist they'll be when they come off the show. So it's a good guideline, I think, to set for the contestants.
I think it really separates the stars as well, because it kind of puts the acts in the kind of situation, like you say, they would be when they come off the show. And, you know, some of them step up to it, some of them don't.
And I think this year as well, I think they've shown a lot of the judges kind of being with the contestants a lot. I think the judges of this year are very, very for the contestants, which I think is really, really nice.
Spend a lot of time in the house and stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
Although Louis did obviously have to choose between 2 of his acts, Sammy and Kitty, and he made that decision to get rid of one of them. Do you think he was right in choosing himself?
It must be really hard. He's had to do that quite a few times, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Before.
I think
personally, if I was Louis, I would have chose to save Kitty, because although she's controversial, I think her voice on that sing-off was, we were saying, was absolutely
unreal.
fantastic. Like, gave us shivers. We were like, thought she was amazing.
Oh, cool. And obviously, you guys know what it's been like. You know, you've like been massively like catapulted into fame and
Whoa.
stuff. Have you got any maybe like dating advice for the current contestants, like maybe Frankie?
And he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I think.
Don't think he needs any advice from us. I think he's got it on
I think he's
lockdown.
got his game face.
Down to a T.
And if not, he's got Gary, so he's all sorted out. He's all good.
Yeah. What about Rhythmics? Do you reckon that?
They are sick. Love
I
them.
think it's really
Yeah,
good.
yeah, really
yeah,
good.
really.
Nah, you fancy one of them, mate?
Yeah, I do. The blonde one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
Ooh.
can't remember her name.
I thought it was the other one you fancied.
Who?
Nah, fancies them all.
Which,
No, no,
which one's
the
it? There's 4 of them.
Nah, fancies them all. he
Fancy
told
the
me.
blonde.
No, I don't.
Are you looking at America at the moment, or are you just sticking to British
We've
soil?
got a lot to kind of do over here at the moment. Yeah. You know, we owe the fans a lot over here, so we've kind of got to concentrate on that a little bit.
Yeah, so
You know, we've got
and,
the tour coming up as well, so.
yeah. And also we're just back from Europe, so we're going to try and get there as soon as possible as well. Just go back out and see the fans again.
Wicked. And like, do you like having such close contact with fans on stuff like Twitter?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I think it's great.
It's great. It makes. I think. I think one of the things that they like about us is that we don't try and kind of act as like this big intimidating thing. We act quite like the kind of people that they go to school with. So I think, you know, the fact that we can kind of talk about the same things and actually just have a normal conversation, I think that's something that then would make them like us because they can relate to us and stuff.
Because you're not putting on
Yeah,
anything,
it's
you're
not-
just being
Yeah,
yourself.
we're not trying to.
Completely.
We're not trying to act like this big kind of character thing. It's just.
Well,
we're
it's just who
we're
we
just
are.
yeah, we're just.
Because
normal
Zane, you're quite philosophical on Twitter. Like, I have noticed that. Are you kind of like that then in real life?
Yeah, I tend to think quite philosophically. So I just try to get that out across on Twitter. But yeah, when I'm talking to fans and stuff, I do just like to be myself.
Zane actually has a motto for every single day. Makes up a new motto for every single day. I think that's amazing.
Do you really? Where'd you get the mottos from?
It's the brain.
You've not got one of those calendars where it like turns over and you've got a new phrase for the
No,
day?
I haven't got one of them. Liam's making
I used to
the
have
whole
toilet
motto
paper
thing
like
up every day.
Yeah, say,
But
yeah.
I do like to tweet like.
We're deep, mean.
When you have an epiphany, like you just let it all out. And what about when you're going on tour? I mean, do you think that you're going to get on each other's nerves, or?
Well, I think we spend every single day to each other anyway, so we already know what each other do really. So I don't think we'll ever really go on each other's nerves because we're kind of used to each other now. So I think we're just going to have a good time on tour and just have a laugh.
I just lock myself in a room, stay away from them all.
Yeah.
Do you guys all live together now?
That's not that cool.
We've just recently moved into new apartments in London. I live on my own, Liam lives on his own, Zane lives on his own, and Harry and Louis live together. But we live in the same complex, so we live in like within 50 metres, 100 metres of each other.
Yeah.
He's thinking
We live in the same village, yeah.
Louis trying to subtly ask you out for dinner.
Oh God.
I'm not really. Harry's joking. Harry really wants to take you out for
I
dinner. He used me as a cop pal.
Because I have noticed like there's a bit of an older women thing going on with you guys. Rebecca Ferguson, 6 years older.
Ah!
What is your limit for how old you'd go?
I wouldn't go any older than my mum.
Yeah, I think the mum bar. Yeah.
How old is your mum?
I'm more into girls my age, but that's just me.
Me too.
My 44 as of Friday.
So you'd go no higher than 44.
I don't think.
I think he probably would.
No
I'm
higher,
scared
no,
that
no
I'm
higher
not.
than 40 for me.
I'm loving that it's so high, like it's into the
It's not high
40s.
for me.
No.
I think while you're young, enjoy young people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More stamina, energy.
6 years. 6 years is not a big difference.
No, that's not that big. Do any of you have like little phrases that you say? Like, does anyone have little catchphrases that they always say?
Deal with it and don't go on about it.
Mental. Don't worry about it.
Chill.
Cheeseburgers and jelly babies.
Oh God.
Oh no.
What? Explain that.
broadcast that.
What is the significance of that?
I know when I find something awkward, I just say it.
Has anyone actually caught your eye, like a fan on Twitter? Like, would you actually like contact them back and pursue it?
I don't know if through Twitter. Maybe a bit.
Is it?
I don't think you should ever pursue anyone or like basically like
Like
date someone based on whether or not they're a fan. Like if they're a fan, then it's cool. But
So it won't stop me if they're.
No, it wouldn't stop me if they're a fan. No, if I find someone attractive, I'd let them know.